One of the most culturally diverse cities in the world. Ashen was a vibrant, great place to live. But this is now. Social problems have overrun the modern world, and also the city of Ashen. Exactly 5 years ago makes the day...
I first heard about Road Rage years ago, and I was pretty excited. There was actual hype going into it, and I remember losing that hype when it was announced that Maximum Games would be publishing. They're widely known for releasing some of the most average games known to man. Kind of like Game Mill Entertainment or Outright Games, who published the Patrick Star game, which I covered last year. How is Road Rage? It's painfully average. Road Rage is inspired by Electronic Arts' 90s series Road Rash. Growing up with a few friends who had Sega Genesises, they each had the Sega Genesis. All of them had Road Rash 2 in particular for some reason. I really liked the racing gameplay sprinkled in with high-speed violence for good measure, having weapons used to knock combatants off their motorcycles. Road Rage is a spiritual successor to that series. You have story missions where you race or knock X amount of bikers off their rides, and you can also do special missions with objectives like getting a certain amount of near misses in oncoming traffic, or maybe even popping wheelies for a certain amount of time. Stuff like that. Speaking of story, Road Rage has one, and it's a very boring one at that. It all starts in the city of Ashen, split up into sub-areas. Your character is in sub-Troit, like Detroit, but subpar, I guess. It's the worst area of Ashen. Poverty and crime reign supreme as bikers have ravaged the city and destroyed its economy. In between missions, the game gives you, I don't even know what to call them, cutscenes? Exposition? You get a view of text between characters to move the plot along. The voice acting is quite bad. Not the worst I ever heard, but definitely sounds like a few coworkers knocked out some voice lines so they could go out to the bar and grab a couple drinks afterward. Then the dialogue is really cringe. Just listen to some of these nuggets.
You didn't just call me that. Listen to me, creep. If you talk to me like... What? You hung up on me.
Yeah, that was real customer service, Sonia. What do you think they'll do now?
They're all outside.
Stay inside. I'll handle this.
I like how a budget title has the ability to include voice acting, while Pokemon turns 30 soon, and they still can't manage to fit it into any game. Call me crazy, but if Road Rage can manage to do that in 2017, I'm just saying, it's your move, Game Freak. Despite the presentation, gameplay isn't too bad. You complete missions for cash, upgrade your bike, play more difficult challenges, unlock new bikes that are required for more missions to progress further and unlock more stuff. That sounds great. Too bad the game's sense of difficulty is broken. For example, I chose a hard mission and the task was to choose 2 bikers from a few on the map, pick the 2 you want, knock them off their bikes, and you win. Within seconds, I had one. The other one kept driving around the block in a circle. As soon as I figured that out, I waited for him, got close, and clubbed him off his ride. Bon voyage. I hate to say it, but the fake difficulty doesn't just extend to various chase down challenges, but to races too. I mean, maybe it does, but I learned the keys to success in every race almost immediately. You ready for this? When you begin a race, go after as many combatants as you can and knock them off their bikes. Then, when you're going around any kind of turn, make sure you let off the acceleration, which is R2, and tap L2 for brake whenever you're going just a little too fast. You likely won't need it, but triangle gives you boost, and it only takes a few seconds to refill. Immediately accelerating after turns will ensure no one is going to catch you after that, even on the hard races. The only thing that's going to occasionally trip you up, and believe me, they will, are the glitches. The glitches almost remind me of the ones you'd find in Skate 3, though that's a much better game. The glitches are just as entertaining here. The first thing I did when capturing gameplay footage for Road Rage was drive right into something and I clipped through the ground. Here are some of the other funny glitches I encountered. The funny thing is, I'm not even saying the game isn't fun. If you just want to be a biker with attitude and go up to random pedestrians, club them, and laugh as you watch them fly, this might be the game for you. I actually enjoyed playing the game. It's not very polished, and it seems like it just needed a little more time in the oven to function the way you can tell it was supposed to. But it's still enjoyable, just not for the reasons intended. It's incredibly cheap. And by that I mean I picked it up at GameStop for about $7. So for that price, it's absolutely worth it for the ragdoll shenanigans, cheesy dialogue, bike customizations, occasional glitches that are always a sight to behold, and above all else, the driving feels good. Road Rage has cult classic written all over it. It may not be Road Rash, and it certainly isn't Ride to Hell Retribution, but it's nestled perfectly in the middle somewhere, maintaining balance in the world of motorcycle combat games. It might not be a game to finish, but it's certainly a fun little distraction for those who need one.